So this bioreactor was essentially neglected by me. It's about 15 months it's been sitting there. It's reduced by about half. I would say certainly more than a third has gone. So somewhere between a third and a half gone. It's still moist. Hasn't dried out. It's not dry and crusty. Smells good. Smells like, you know, earth. Still got a lot of woody material on top, but I didn't really tend to this one. I had a sprinkler in there. I forgot about it. I let trees grow over it so that it, you know, I mean, shade is good for it, but it also kept it out of sight, out of mind. And I have another bioreactor that I pay better attention to. And this is kind of in a corner of my property where I don't go all the time. So a lot of problems there. But the bottom line is, I think it worked good. So we're going to crack it open and see what even a neglected bioreactor will do. All right, so I cleared out a bunch of the overgrown branches, mostly dead cherry trees and some live cherry there, but overgrowth. It's blocking my path anyway. So I cleared all that out so I can work here. And we're about to take the tension off of this guy. You got to be careful when you cut these bands. So it's going to be this one here and this one here. It's overlapped by 1, 2, 3 rungs. So that's how much overlap I use. It keeps a very nice circle, about 4 feet across, and I find that it holds almost 5 yards of material, 4.5. And then when it breaks down, you're left with a good 2 to 3 yards to spread out wherever you want. This is going in my garden. So we're going to cut these bands and let it open up and see what it looks like. Let's see if I can cut them without hurting myself. I don't remember if I put one at the bottom over there or not. I guess we'll find out once I cut a couple more here. Couple more. All right, down to the last one. I think this guy's gonna spring open on me. There we go. Look at that. So you can see a lot of the woody materials broken or not broken down, but that's just on the very outside. Once I open up here, right, that is good. Like, there is still some woody material in there, but that's okay. Most of it is soil quality. Feels almost like potting mix. Smells awesome, but it's fluffy. It's very slightly damp. And I'm not worried about these little hunks of wood in here. I know that a perfectionist would say this is a problem. I disagree. It's going to rot in the garden bed, continue to rot, and hold moisture in the meantime. And and I put biochar in here, so this is all going to be, you know, very nutrient dense. Man, I wish you could feel that. It feels awesome. So we're going to get this guy unloaded, or actually shoveled into the back of the Kubota and go dump it in the garden bed. But yeah, I'm going to call it a success. So we're going to go ahead and peel the rest of this away, and we're going to shovel this into the back of the Kubota, go dump it in the garden bed and get a better look at it. And then I'll immediately put it under my landscape fabric and get it ready for next year. One other thing I want to point out is these are the holes where I originally had the tubes. I can stick my hand down in there a good foot or so before I feel that the hole kind of closed up. So I guess as it broke down and collapsed, some of the stuff collapsed in on itself. There, that hole goes all the way to the bottom. So these ones on the edge, you can see that's about where it terminated. That's where I cut into it. Same thing with that middle one, all the way down. So, you know, I'm going to say it had pretty good airflow the whole time. Definitely wasn't drying out under this tree. So not watering it, although not ideal, I'm sure. Also not catastrophic. And you can see as I crack into it, it goes from, yeah, there's wood on the outside. But once you get inside, all soil, and you can see the biochar in there all throughout. I got some ants, whatever. But down there is a spot where some charcoal collected, and you can see these black bands on the outside also. There's a little bit of hair from probably a cow, something like composted in here, a piece of hide or something. But let's see. Just the hair. Everything else broke down. So I'm gonna say this is a very effective way of composting. So got a good amount of material. That's 3 Kubota loads. And once I pull back I ripped out most of my plants. I'm letting a couple of those go for, let them get as big as they can before I feed them to the animals. Squashes. But I'll pull back this landscape fabric in the growing rows, and all this stuff will be placed underneath it. And then over the winter it'll kind of acclimate into the soil, and should give me nice fertility in the spring. All from, primarily that's all composted animal waste. So it's wood chips and chicken waste, both from the coop and from butchering, and then cow and pig, you know, offal from butchering. No smell, no nothing. Most of the bones are gone, and perfect soil.